This I'm very curious to see where you're gonna go with.
This is one of my favorite questions too. Analog or digital?
Ooh. I don't know.
As a DJ or a listener?
It's your criteria. You can play this game all night.
Analog or digital?
Oh, gotta answer this right.
No, man, don't lead the witness.
I'm leading the witness? I'm sorry.
There's no right or wrong answer.
There's no right or wrong answer. But
Analog.
Analog? All right, let's make some noise, because I'm an analog. Analog or digital?
Of what?
It's quick time or slime.
Okay, do you know the definition of vague?
What do you prefer? Go both?
I'm gonna go both. Because
somebody.
You have to put it all the way to the top.
You gotta put it all the way to the top.
when I go both, you got a drink?
We don't want you to
We bothing all the way out.
You go right there.
You driving, right?
Okay.
Analog.
Really? I'm gonna take a shot for betting against y'all.
I'm liking digital now. I think that there's more to to play with on the canvas with digital. Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, as a Florida boy, digital.
Analog or digital?
Analog. I'm going analog, man. All day.
I say analog because that's what we grew up to. That's what we know. That's our ear. I love digital. I like, if you would say hybrid,
digital make it easier, but analog is what?
Exactly.
What that
one take. One take. I couldn't mess it up.
And you can still apply analog to digital. Like you
That's
can
why I
use
say
analog.
you say a hybrid of both. You put that in the question, I would say the hybrid.
Analog because, like he said,
like
we made the record together.
Yeah,
Look how good that record sounded. That record sounded like we made it yesterday.
Yeah,
like when I was just listening to it, because I haven't heard it in these many years, even when I was listening to y'all for a whole week, knowing that I had y'all coming up,
Right.
I didn't listen to that record. I was listening to that record just now.
Right.
And when I heard it just now, I couldn't tell if we made it yesterday.
Digital.
Whoa, I didn't expect that.
I would have expected you to
Well, no, come on, AI. The AI guy.
Okay, yeah.
It's fucked up because now I can't live without either one of them. If I say digital, my shit might stop working when I get home. That's just sensitive. It's energy.
I just say analog. Right off back, I like shoot stuff in 16 millimeter, but we use Pro Tools.
Okay.
Right.
So analog or digital?
Analog. Me too. Analog. Me too. I'm gonna take a shot for that, even though I ain't got that. Let's go, son.
You got clear.
Yeah, I got but I love analog, man. I always say the reason why our music was better back then was because we had to make records together.
I'm starting to get it. I was an analog head until recently, and now I'm starting to realize that the way that Travis Scott, bends those notes and bends those basses and tweaks the tuning.
Digital.
Okay.
I just like having more songs with me. There's so much I like about vinyl better,
Right.
but having 1,000,000 songs is better than having 1,000.
Tell you why digital.
Okay, go ahead.
If I'm thinking about the future.
Right.
If I'm 12 years old right now, and you showed me some digital equipment, and you told me express myself, go out there and make your dreams come true at the highest level.
Digital.
Didn't expect that.
Digital.
The loudest volume, the broadest spectrum, the most impact. I'm 12.
Right.
Fucking nigga, I'm 22.
Right.
Right.
Digital.
Analog or digital?
Analog. What happened? Hey, I got an iPhone. Analog is harder, it's longer, it's everything a man wants to be.
Right. Oh, I didn't catch that. My bad.
It's big, it's huge, it's movie, it's cinematic, it makes you cry, makes your skin crawl when you put strings on it. It's just it's a beast in and of itself.
Right.
Analog.
Thank you.
Analog, because digital is any and everybody. Analog, you had to be good.
I just feel like you were about to say digital just to be different.
No, I always said analog. I couldn't transfer over to digital DJ. I'm fucking gonna say digital.
Gotta say
still got vinyl, bro.
Yeah, go to the next one. I don't want to exit this one. Analog or digital? I want both of y'all to handle this.
You want both of them to be analog?
That's one of them any given Sunday joints.
Analog phones expensive.
You know why I always say analog? Because I always base this part off of just music, right? Music back then, we had to be in the same studio. Dude, that's the only reason why I always pick analog.
Yeah, they said that energy was harnessed in an analog.
I've always been a straight ahead singing tune, you play in tune. You know?
Right.
You know, you can have. I like the imperfections. That's why I use live music mostly, and that's why I don't auto tune myself because I like the imperfections of music.
Right.
But I do think that the originality of what people are doing now with the sonics is pretty.
I quoted somebody, and I'm not sure now if it was you. I believe it was you. You said something about analog capturing like the energy in the room.
It catches the energy.
That was you that
It's
said that, right?
magnetic, yeah. Think about it. We're magnetic. So it catches the energy, the vibrations of the person too. If you're near that tape machine,
you feel the static on it. The static on it, right?
Man, that shit's just what? Tape is everything. Like we just released a cassette.
Digital or analog? You're a producer, right?
Analog.
Yeah.
You want to see? I'm glad you gave us the rules because politically correct, that shit is real.
Yeah.
Because analog, analog is the stuff. That's the stuff, right?
You don't have all day.
But digital is so clean, and you could go back in and do this.
So analog?
He's good at doing that too.
You got a show.
But tell you all the reasons why the other one is great.
It's analog forever. That's it.
I'm gonna go digital. He's analog digital.
Yeah, just for workflow.
Okay.
Red said, if it never made a sound, it never existed. So he didn't like digital.
Right.
Because he's like, if it never pushed air.
Analog, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's so, the capabilities are endless with digital.
Right.
But that feel of analog, man.
Yeah.
That warm feel, that hiss. I mean, just the tape alone create a hum noise that fills up the track. You know what I mean?
Definitely do more with digital.
Yeah.
But does it feel like analog?
Right.
Man, this is a good question.
It's too clean.
Analog, digital made it so anybody can rap.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it sounded too clean.
I want an analog record.
See, he really wants digital.
I want a digital mix, but analog.
You don't want to wait analog. You don't want to wait for the analog shit.
Actually, listen, let me tell you something. I would never go to the studio without knowing my rhymes right here.
Right.
I had never, during the analog days, I had never wrote in the studio.
Analog or digital?
Analog, man.
Analog, you had to
spend
$300 on a 2-inch tape. And you couldn't fuck this shit up. You couldn't do it in your basement. Right, you couldn't do it in your basement. You couldn't get in the studio. Studio 150, 200, 350 an hour.
You couldn't afford to fuck it up.
Yeah, unless you was at.
It's just
it records the energy in the room.
Yeah, show you right. Yeah.
Like workflow is just like a lot quicker. We can like add analog pieces and then put it into digital. That works great. Like I think that's what this album did. Like he grabbed a lot of analog pieces and we were allowed to like run it through analog into the digital space. And with the clock speed he have, it's damn near like
Yes.
Right. Some people use the digital shit, but it's just they don't do no work.
Right.
They don't put no time into their shit.
Right.
So they just
because it's disposable. They can just keep doing it.
But I think the digital is good. I love the analog. The digital is good for artists like you, artists like us.
Right. Analog or digital?
Analog.
Why'd you pick analog? Digital is trying to emulate what analog does. Analogs is ones and twos. There's electricity flowing through analog and there's separation. Now, not to say that digital is trying to do that, but it has not done that yet. It hasn't done that yet. You cannot emulate analog. There's nothing you can do. There's circuitry, there's energy. It picks up the energy in the fucking room.
Yeah.
Digital doesn't do that.
If the voice never came through your larynx.
Energy was never moved.
Out of your mouth into a microphone, it never existed.
Because analog is just better. It was better because you went to the store to get the record.
Right.
It's a different thing. So I'm gonna go analog on.
Yeah, I love that. I always liked analog because, to me, music sounded better when we had to be in the room together. Like right now, if we went to do a record together and I'm in Dusseldorf, Germany, and you could be in Austria or Australia, and we can do, and we'd be on the same level. But
all right, analog or digital?
Ooh.
I mean, which is kind of like what we were already talking about.
Analog. It's where my heart is.
Analog.
Just as far as music-wise, are you talking about?
Yeah, music-wise.
Not
Let's
like
keep it music.
cameras and...
No, we'll keep it music.
my bad.
Then we go down another rabbit hole with that one.
I say analog for that.
Oh, as far as music, analog or digital, yeah, I would say analog too, man. Digital was great, but that analog, man. Oof. I think the digital would have came in handy for those times.
Right.
But besides that, analog.
Right.
Analog, hell yeah.
What the fuck I got? What sound crispy?
When you make analog is like the 2-inch rails.
Yeah, you got the
digital is Pro Tools.
Or straight to digital.
Yeah. My bad. Ooh, that's for Daz.
How many more questions y'all got?
It's not only the couple.
We only got 16 more.
No.
Not like 6 more like this.
That's for you, analog and digital.
Digital.
Digital?
Digital, yeah. Analog. Nah.
You gotta take a shot for
Analog
this.
the shit I went to school for. Then as soon as I finished, they came with digital. Digital, man. Digital.
Wow. Both of them.
I think in some ways the analog may have a warmer sound. Digital may have a somewhat clearer.
Cleaner, right?
Cleaner sound.
But that's not always good.
No.
Be so clean.
Right. It's not always.
So you going analog? If you going analog, I'm taking a shot for that.
Analog.
Yeah,
analog,
I'm with you on that.
Analog, and then you could go to digital because digital is going to preserve that analog, that funk, that bump from the analog. Yeah.
Digital kept the cheat up off a lot of them because it's analog. You wouldn't be making a dime today.
When you listen to music in the 90s where we couldn't send an email,
that's different, man.
We had to be in a 2-inch rail. We had the little.
We had little
people as a rail.
It's legit.
As a rail. We had little people as a rail, and we would bring them to Sound on Sound to Right Track Studio, and Luda couldn't send me his verse.
Right.
He had to be in the same exact studio with me. That's why analog is the shit.
Yes, sir. Analog or digital? Ooh. Around the table.
Analog.
I'm analog. Dude.
Analog.
Yeah. Universal audio, it stops jitter in the digital field and sonically. It's not a record that you will hear one time and hate it after that. Like, it's cool, but something about it. It's just it's too it's loud, distorted, whatever.
Right.
It's analog clocking. It just stops jitter. It just makes every digital clock, every digital slave master to it. So it mimics analog the best.
I guess it would. I guess it'd be.
I'm gonna be analog.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'd say analog sound better.
When you're in that room, seeing him make that magic, it makes you want to bring out the best in yourself. So that's the reason why I like the analog.
Well, you like the
more.
culture of analog.
I like the culture of
But you're right. But the culture of analog is really just the culture of doing it together in the same space.
That's what
because it inspires
collaboration.
The collaboration inspires different phrasing. It inspires like somebody.
That's the reason why I felt like you picked analog is because we had to be there. Like, Premier sending you a beat is totally different from Premier making that beat in your face.
For sure, absolutely.
That's analog.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I felt like you picked it.
Digital or analog?
Analog. All fucking day.
Analog. I'm analog all day too.
It's your thing was analog.
Because I love analog. I love the rails when you had to walk around with the rails and it felt like it was hard
the 8
a
inches.
human being.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love, because that's the dirty sound came out. Like when, but digital is almost like it's clean before they even,
Right, like it's
like, you know what I mean? Like, oh.
Analog screwed the artist, and Luckily, it didn't get to the movie industry, but for the music industry, analog is the cause of a lot of people not getting what they should have got.
Digital, anybody could be a recording artist.
You got some wizards.
It's on your computer.
You got some wizards.
With AI, me and Capone can sound like y'all. Y'all can sound like me and Capone.
I'm not.
AI is hell.
Y'all can lay off.
The only person I heard say do the right thing with AI was Beans.
Beanie Siegel, I liked it what he said.
Only person I ever heard
He's
say
he's gonna use
take
it.
his old voice and do his new album so he can sound like his old voice.
Yeah.
Go my world, man. What's going on? Wait.
I'm an analog. No need to witness. My bad, Judge.
Yeah, bro. No, I did it a couple times already.
I'm analog for sure.
Yeah. So we're taking a shot. No, I'm kidding.
I'm analog. I always say analog was better because, like, if we had to do a record together, we had to be face to face. You couldn't send me, a 2-inch reel. You couldn't send me a reel. Like those reels was like little DAWs.
See, no one's ever said that's the smartest way to answer that.
That is the
because
smartest
you can start at analog and then you can transfer to digital.
To digital. And just that funk, that bump, whatever that is that you got in analog that you know what you doing.
That warmth you get from it,
It's going, and then you just digi.
Analog or digital?
Digital.
You on that new wave shit?
Yeah, man, shit faster. Be that analog shit, I ain't got time to wait. Fuck all that shit, man. Fuck that shit.
Digital is more.
Well, they've learned how to remedy the pirating in digital because it's
It can control analog. Digital can control things a lot more from a commercial side than. Not talking about the artistic side, right? But I'm talking about from the commercial side. It's easier to control, right?
No, you can't pass this off.
This is producer.
You can pass it to me all you want. All I'm gonna do is ask him the question. I'm like, say that dumb on which one?
I can't hear nothing.
Don't talk about producing wise.
Come on, you know. I mean, you have a preference, I'm assuming.
Digital, which one?
Analog or digital?
Analog.
Okay. That's fair. I always say that, pardon me for cutting you off, I always say that the music back then was better because of analog, because we had to make it together.
It was communal. Analog made it communal.
Like right now, you can send me a beat, I could be in Paris, who's unprofessional. You could be in Paris, I could be in Russia, and we can still make a record together.
Analog or digital?
Analog. I knew he was gonna say that. I'm an analog nigga too.
We mentioned it on Drink Champs, but DJ Quick, he did an interview, I think with Talib Kweli, and he mentioned that he felt that analog picked up the energy from the room.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
R. Kelly used to put a nickel on turntable to get that
right.
That DJ sound on the record.
Analog. Can't replace that sound.
Yeah, that unique sound, Analog sounds better because I love how all the features sound back in the days. Like y'all was in the same room. Y'all had to smoke each other's weed. Y'all had to smell each other's cologne. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to sit around and vibe out and, you know what I mean? Like, so if you ain't like somebody on the record, you can tell. You know what I mean? You can tell because y'all was in the same room.
Analog or digital?
Digital.
Digital, I remember when Napster came.
Yeah,
so
Napster
to me,
fucked it up.
so when the
Fuck
digital
Napster.
came, the buildings kept trying to change rules all the time that never wasn't even
catch up with the hackers.
So every time something new digital come, it's these new laws and contracts that nobody. So then they screwing the artists. Exactly.
Right.
So analog, when it was, think about when music first started, it was like basically just owning the masters.
You took your shot, bro?
Oh, I've been took the shot earlier.
Oh, okay.
Got another one.
Analog.
Analog, me too. I'm with you on that.
I like analog.
Tell them why, Gilmore.
I can run my stuff through the analog to go through the digital. You know what I'm saying? So let's get that same vibe and feel. So you just run whatever you got into your analog, then run it into your digital. Got the same shit.
Got the best of both worlds.
Got that.
Analog.
Me too. That's
Analog.
That's a good one. That's how I always go analog. I remember Pharrell saying, I said, yo, all we need is a hook. And Pharrell was like, we got the hook. And I said, no, we don't. And he took my ones out. What, one? What, two, what? He took those out and he left it there. I was like, they're gonna laugh at me. He said, you're gonna laugh all the way to the bank. I believe it. Analog or digital?
Analog.
Analog or digital?
Both. You gotta take another shot.
Dale que tú puedes.